And having this conversation with us this morning is Julie Kariuki. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's been a long time coming.
It's been a
From
minute.
the DMs.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute, but we're here.
But
Thank
we're
God.
here,
Yes.
so we are grateful for that.
Yes,
And
yes.
so, like I was saying, the very first conversation we had today
Yes.
was different ways to show gratitude and what it actually means.
Yeah.
And sometimes, so we had the analogy for half empty, half full
Full,
glass,
yes, yes.
and how we look at it and where
Yes.
gratitude comes in.
Yes.
And sometimes we go through very bad times.
Yes.
Like COVID was really bad.
Oh.
But then again, there's some good things that happened in that space.
In that season,
So
yes.
being able to be grateful and show gratitude and appreciate that, yes, that happened, but I am here
Yeah.
and I have a choice to make.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is what you did.
Yes.
You
And-
turned your whole life around, Julie.
Yes. By the grace of God.
Amen.
But also, what you're talking about is actually it. It's perspective. It's how you look at things. Because you're looking at that glass that you talked about.
Yes.
When I look at it, I can say it's half empty. You can look at it and
Yes.
say it's half full.
Yeah.
It's just how you look at life. And in this life we'll face many troubles. That's what the scripture says. And also reality, like no one's life will be perfect.
Yes.
You'll struggle in a relationship, you'll struggle with loss, you'll struggle with health, you'll struggle with finances. There'll always be something someone is struggling with.
Yeah.
But it's just how you look at it. Some of the happiest people, actually, people we would look at like, poor people, or they're happy.
They're happy.
When you
Genuinely.
drive, when you drive through a slum, those kids are really happy. They're playing, the lady selling fish by the road. She's happy.
Yeah.
Some people live in mansions. They're miserable. So life is just about perspectives.
Yes.
And for me, just going through an unexpected event.
Please talk to us about that. I
And-
know it's not something that you want to
Yes.
dwell
Yes.
dwell on today,
No,
but
no.
so that we also understand, or
Understand,
probably
yeah.
someone who's never heard your story
Yes.
before.
Absolutely. So I'm married to a
Yay.
very wonderful gentleman. Peter Kariuki was to join me today, but he couldn't.
Okay.
And I have 3 children.
Yes.
I'm a mother of 3, 2 boys and 1 girl, but my girl is in heaven. So I was due to deliver her 2020 February and went into hospital, rode into theater, everything perfect, everything is good.
You've done this before, so
Oh, yeah, been there. Like I know what to expect.
Your
Baby
facial
shower,
expressions will
everything
kill
was
me.
good. Like,
Yes.
everything was set. I was filming the whole process for my vlog. I have a YouTube channel. So it was just a normal, but something had happened. The movement had reduced in my belly. So I alerted my doctor. He said, come in immediately. I went in. We found a heartbeat. We were good, but he said, because you're here, let's just deliver, because I was just a week away from my delivery.
okay.
I was like, cool, yeah, baby's full term. See, we do this.
Yes.
Yeah. When they removed the baby didn't cry. And they did everything they could, and that was it. And my life crashed in a moment. So that was 7th February 2020.
Okay.
So, backstory, my husband and I had been married 6 years then, and then we had dated 7 years.
Okay.
We are those people we love God so much, we love people, so we've helped so many people, we've worked with so many couples, we've encouraged so many people. All I do is just encourage people, even on my platforms. All I do is just encourage people, motivate them. And here I was, completely crushed, like ashes to the ground, completely helpless, hopeless, miserable, depressed, every negative thing. I was there together with my husband. And I wanted to disappear from earth. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I just unlogged from all my social media accounts for a whole year. I unplugged, thank God also for the pandemic.
Yes.
Because now everyone was like, stay in your home. So I was like in my home alone. So I didn't talk to people. I was away, I was alone for a whole year just to try and figure out life. And in that place that looked like hell and so bad and so dark, that's where I found healing. That's where I found, because I started therapy during that season. So that's when I was able to just go back to my life. Because when you go through such a traumatic event, all the previous traumas come alive. So everything I'd gone through when I was in primary school, high school, when I was bullied, all those came up. And now I had to start dealing with those, healing from that. And now complete healing came. So that event led to
So many other things, and we've had couples who come in, and this is the story that
Yeah.
they have,
Yeah.
and some of the situations are even made more difficult by the people that are around us, family, and you have other kids that you need to still show love,
Yes.
but you don't feel it, you don't. Sina nguvu.
No, you're so weak. Like, I didn't know that thing for a week. Let me tell you, when your heart is so broken,
Yeah.
I literally couldn't leave bed. People would call me because not pandemic, people would not visit. I would be like, stand up, go shower, stand up, eat. You're so weak. Weak, like literally you don't have strength in you. Someone would have to lift me and all. Grief is that heavy. And sometimes, like you're saying, the people who come around you are people who they say the worst things in that season sometimes, and that even
do they know? Is it maybe we need to have that conversation at some point where what do you need to say? What do you need to do?
And you know what? As a result, I actually did a certification. I'm a grief therapist right now. I'm on my way to therapist. I'm a grief, let me call it a counselor. I did it 2 months ago, just to educate people. And this is what I'm doing now. Like, this is how you handle someone who's gone through loss.
I hope at the end of this conversation today, you'll just give us tips. We need it.
You know what? And I didn't know, because even me, there are things I've told people in the name of comforting them, but it caused more harm. Because people who came to me came with love. They loved me.
Yes.
But they caused more harm than good. At least to kona pengine, comments like that. At least you have another baby. You're young, you can still have more.
No.
That was not our child. That was an angel. Those things hurt. She's in a better place. So meaning like,
so I wasn't,
like
9 months in, no.
So some things people say, and I've said it to people before. I've said those words to people, but they cause more harm. You end up going to like better place. So meaning like here she should have been miserable. Like I didn't deserve her. Like, mtoto wako wetu, like ni wa nani? As in, what do you mean? Why did I carry her for 9 months? I went through a CS. Like it was so some words. So that's why I did the certification. Okay. So now I help people who are going through loss and also educate people on how to handle people who've gone through loss so that you don't cause them more harm. Yes. And also, so that you can be just a healing agent. I prefer this. You really don't have anything to say, sit there. Yeah. Let me see you there. Like, be there. That's the bottom line. Be there. So you've come to me, I've lost someone. Just be seen. Let me see you in the kitchen. Let me see you here. Be there. Don't talk much, because in your words you could say something that could be off. Yeah, just be seen. And if you're maybe away or out of the country, just keep texting, thinking about you, praying for you. You're in my thoughts. I dreamt with you. Like, I will feel so much better that.
Don't give me opinions at that point.
Yeah, don't tell me anything. Don't preach. Don't tell me anything.
That must have been, it's when you talk about lows, that was a low.
Yeah.
And it is difficult at some point when you're there to see the half full glass.
Yes.
It looks empty. Like even that half becoming evaporates.
It wasn't even. There's no even glass.
There's no glass.
The glass was broken.
How did you manage to turn around? Because now you talk about it, and I remember when you walked in, you were like, "Mikali, mimi siko hapa kuye. We are not kuye.
Yeah, no, we're not here to cry." That's why I'm in bright colors. We're not here to cry.
I got the memo. I got the memo. We're sitting next to the tree, so
yes, it's Christmas season. Yes, you need to be happy. But it's just picking yourself from that. And you asked how I did it. Number one, I'll say it's God. Yes. So I thank God for my people who are praying around me. The prayers from my mother, the prayers from my father, the prayers from my siblings, my husband, who also is going through loss himself. But it's just those people, because they could not even pray. And like I'm telling you, we are church leaders. So our background is for, prayers. But I could not even open my Bible. Funny thing is, a year later, I've not opened my Bible. And God still loves me. Oh. Yes, because that Bible, I've had it for so many years, and that's why I'd been praying. Because that pregnancy it had a bit of complications. I'd written all the promises, all the scriptures. So every time I opened it, it triggers something in me. Okay. Because I'm like, hey, God, Apollo Nicheza, So I've had a hard time. I've actually bought a new Bible now so that I can be able to continue the journey. But that one, I'll just keep it somewhere until I'm ready. It's a real thing. Like trauma, loss, it's a real thing. So we changed our perspective. Okay. And another thing we did is something called, my therapist brought it up, trauma talk and truth talk. trauma talk for me, it's not because I've told you all the traumas, previous traumas come up.
Yeah.
So I started thinking, oh, we are cursed. Me and my husband, God doesn't love us at all. Like, seriously,
Truly.
let's just disappear from earth. And, you know, nobody loves us. So those things, because when I was growing up, there was a point in my life I felt no one understood me, no one accepts me. You know, when you're going through preteen, teenage years, you're there, you confuse yourself. So I used to feel that a lot. That came up as well. And rejection, you know, something happened. And also retrogression. When I was in class 4, I had to repeat. You know, the way people are made to repeat. But it's not because they're bad grades. I changed schools, and they didn't have a vacancy in class 5.
So you were told to go back to class 4?
They didn't even tell me. So it's a boarding school. So I'm taken there. They had that discussion with my dad. So my dad didn't tell me. So I'm going, and I was a very bright kid. So I'm in class 5. I'm being taken to class 4. I'm like, no, I'm in class 5. They're saying, no, babako alisema ngishe class 4. So
all of these things, they come up at that
because I felt
point.
back. So when I lost my daughter, I felt nimerudi nyuma tena. Yeah, so all that had to heal.
We're taking a very short commercial break, but you can share your stories with us. What are you grateful for? It doesn't look like some of the things that maybe normally you'd just be grateful for, but when you look at circumstances in your life, what are you looking at right now and being like, you know what? That I thank God for. Not so good, but then there's this bit of it that is so beautiful, and I thank God for it. We're going to be sharing your stories after this very short commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mikali. A very good morning to you. How are you doing? 111-444-111. That is our SMS line. Be a part of the conversation. Send in your word of encouragement. Send in your questions, concerns, if you're feeling conflicted about something. And please share with us what you're grateful for today, because that is what we are all about today. Julie is in the building. Yes, tunaongea maneno. Well, we're still focusing on gratitude.
Yes.
And the story is you went through the loss of a child.
Yes.
And somehow in the darkness you saw your light, you found light. And now you're not just keeping that light to yourself. Okoku kiradiate. Spreading it all out. Spreading it all out. And you were talking about how the things that you had to do, even with your husband, to be able to go through this, and there was counseling, there was the counseling bit of it, and then you also changed your perspective.
Yes, so we changed perspective. So perspective was actually the turning point for us. It's, okay, life has handed you this. What can you do now? This is the reality. And every day, my therapist told my husband to tell me, Julie, our daughter is dead and she's not coming back. Because I was in denial. I would actually even feel the kicks. And that's how people go crazy. So he would have to tell me that so that it would sink in, nanijue, but then it's done. So perspective is, okay, you have a dead child, but you have a living child. That's perspective.
Yes.
Perspective is they didn't take your uterus out. You can have more children. But those things are the things you want to tell yourself. You don't want someone to tell you.
Yes, please do not tell me.
That one is me and my husband to just talk about. Like, you know, perspective is you didn't die on that table.
True.
You're here. So you have a chance to bring up my son who, you know, was at that time. Perspective is like you had those 9 months with this child. I was the only one who got to interact with her.
Yes.
So that makes it even more special for me. That's perspective. You know? Yeah, like, you know, I'm the one who felt the kicks. I'm the one who felt the movements. I'm the one who I experienced life from my daughter. So that's a perspective as well. Perspective is, you know, good can come out of this. Yeah. And you're like, what good? But it can't come out of this. And we stuck on that. And remember, we used to type a lot. This is during the pandemic. We even have like a mini book because of we would write our thoughts. And we were just doing the perspective thing. And that's where a turnaround came. I was able to conceive so fast, which was not even planned. God bless us within the year with another baby. Thank God. Healing, deep healing. You know that healing I was telling you?
Yes.
Past traumas, everything. Like, I feel like a brand new person. We said this is a new beginning. Like, because our daughter's name, actually, this is the weirdest thing, because now later things are starting to align and it was so strange. We could not come up with a name. We could not get a name for that girl. That day when we were packing in hospital, I told my husband, Ebu named this child before I. So we gave her Zora, Nuru, Genesis, Karaoke. Those are so many names.
Yes.
So
Are we choosing? Okay.
we
cool.
just gave her all the names we could come because we could not come up with a name. So Zora means new dawn.
Okay.
It's a beginning. Genesis, in the Bible,
Yes.
new dawn. Nuru is light.
Yes.
So our daughter represented that, but it happened in the weird. It felt so dark.
Yeah.
But what comes after darkness?
Light.
Light, and that's what she's brought to our lives. Perspective. It's everything. It changes everything. Whatever situation you've been laid off at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's part of gratitude. Like, able sit back and think. By the way, even the other day I was telling my people, if you've been working and you've had a salo this whole year, stop and tell God thank you, because there are people who've had it rough.
Yes.
This 2021 and also last year. So if you've had some sort of income, you know your parents are still here. People have lost parents this year. People have lost family members this year. So it's perspective. Just look at life that way. Even if you've lost your parents, what do you have right now? You know, you have the memories, you have your life, you know. Look at things, look at life that way. It is the only way you'll be able to go well. But if you look at the negative, you'll be stuck there and you'll be very miserable.
I feel like you and Rosemary should have been on the same seat.
Yeah.
Rosemary was the first guest today.
Okay,
And
okay.
you are echoing everything
Oh, wow.
that she said. It was, I think it was ordained that to happen that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
During the break, Julie, you mentioned that some beautiful things
Yes.
came out of this.
Yes.
So, nuru yako basi ilianzia hapo. Because you also gave birth to, you know,
Yes.
care for people in a
Yes,
certain way,
yes, yes.
be there for people in a certain way. Maybe you can talk to us about that.
Yes. So even just the new things that started is even just honoring my body. That was something I never did before. I actually had very low self-esteem growing up. And now I really honor my body. And I don't know how I could relate that to the death of my daughter.
Yes.
But there was just some deep respect for my body as a vessel. I was like, wait a minute. 3 children.
Yes.
Hey, clap for yourself, you know. You know, and just the relationship with my husband, because most marriages break after
They
a
do.
loss. Yeah. So we became tighter because we held on to each other. My relationship with God was a bit shaky at first, but right now is when things are getting a bit, you know, calmer. Yeah, I'm a better parent. I hold on to my kids because I know, just like this, they could be gone.
Yeah.
Because life happens, you know.
That's true.
So I hold on to my. So I feel like I'm a better parent. I'm a better child to my parents. I'm a better sibling to my sisters. So beautiful things have come out of all this chaos. Yes.
We have a couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
Uko tayari?
Let's go.
Okay, where are we? Here we go. Hello, Julie. How do I help this guy who is going through grief? He told me once it's been hard for him, and he has also become very distant. I am an empath, and it also affects me.
Yeah, empaths, you have a problem. Even me, I'm an empath.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really bad. You feel the pain of the other person. So just be there for this person. I tell people, don't do exaggerations. Don't do anything like out of the blues. Just be there, whatever way, whatever capacity. If you can go to their home, to their house, do some things for him. If you can go over to coffee, don't talk about the loss. Just be there at a friend capacity. Yeah, you know, be there. Don't try to be a therapist. Don't try gather
Listen,
notes.
cook, clean around,
Yeah.
just do things,
Laugh.
make their life easier.
Go for a movie. Go
Yeah.
for a walk. Go to Karura. Such things. Just do normal life things with them. They'll remember it. They won't talk much right now. They won't express their gratitude. They could actually be mean, because people who are going through grief are very mean, and that they can be unkind. I was unkind to a lot of people. But right now I've been able to salvage those relationships. But it's the grief. It's not CAA. So they could say something rude here, but they go to your house, have a wholesome moment.
Yes.
Next day, show up. Tell them, I got some bogas. Can I come over? Can I drop off some things? I think that's what you need to do to someone who's going through grief, especially the ones who distance themselves.
Yeah.
But they show up. Don't show up. Don't make excuses. And I'm not talking about showing up physically at their house. I'm just saying, be there in their WhatsApp, in their Instagram. Like, be there. Like, let them know you are there. There's a friend of mine who I've not been able to visit after she lost some people in her life. But that girl, she can tell you, I've been in her business. I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, because she's not been ready to meet me.
That's
and that's
okay.
okay. But she knows. I'm all over her. Yes. I think that's what you need to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Hi, Mikali. Arnold here. I lost my grade 3 daughter, which
Oh, yeah.
really broke me. I gave up on having children with my wife because relatives told me that it's a bad omen, but thankfully I didn't listen to them. And right now, my wife is 7 months pregnant. I'm hoping we will raise this baby till the end.
Amen. I pray that for you as well.
Yeah.
Paula Sana, it's yeah. Comments and you know the people who hurt the most are the ones really close.
Yes.
It comes from relatives, and in the African context, we want to make sense of this loss,
Yes.
and that's where the witchcraft comes in.
Yeah.
Even me, I got that a lot from even people who I call men of God. They brought the witchcraft thing, and I'm just like, wow, people just pass. Some people, maybe that's what God had ordained for them. They'll be 9 months in utero and they'll pass during delivery. You know, we don't know the things of God. So don't come here and start telling me there was a witch, what?
Your family line.
There's a family line thing.
Yeah.
No, you're binding and you're losing and there's time for that, but
Not all the time.
yeah.
And especially
Yeah.
at that point.
You're so sensitive.
Yeah.
You're instilling fear in these people who've gone through loss. You're instilling, they'll not sleep, they'll have nightmares, you know. Yeah, let's just keep those comments to ourselves and, yeah, let people heal. But I'm really sorry for their loss, and I really pray for a new beginning. This child that's coming is also not a replacement to the one who's been lost.
Oh,
This child who's coming should know that they have a bigger, she's a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a bigger sister who's not here, she's in heaven. It's not a replacement. Yes, it's just another child.
Okay.
So if they're okay with it, they can also say this is our second born. But it's up to them to decide.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not a replacement, but it's such a blessing because I know a new child brings hope.
Yes.
You feel there's hope for tomorrow. Because one thing that happens when you lose a child especially, there's no hope. You're like, why am I even here? Yeah. You want to die. You really want to die. and the guilt eats you up so bad. So bad. Because I wish I did. Why didn't I?
Yeah,
you know,
blame yourself at some
you
point.
blame yourself so much. But healing comes, and I pray it comes. And this new child will also bring that. I pray this new child brings so much healing to this couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe word of advice before we
Yes.
come to the end of this
Yes.
conversation
Yes.
to the man.
Yes.
Because sometimes I think they are confused. There's a lot of pain because you carried and there was a connection
Yes.
as a woman.
Yes.
Then there's pain.
Yes.
There's pain, and at this point probably I'm just thinking about my pain.
Yes.
But then the man is torn between I need to comfort you, but I'm also going through pain and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to?
For men, it's usually very hard. And I wish my husband was here to just explain
Yeah.
this. For men, it's very hard. And I saw it from my husband because he kind of had to heal quicker because of me. And then he could not be himself in his grief. Like, because he thought that if I saw him broken, it would break me more, which kind of is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I saw for example, if he fell down and, you know, I mean, Ningesha, for real,
Yes.
you know. But they also grieve, actually very intensely,
Yeah.
but their grieving is different from ours as women. Ours, it's more internal than external.
Yeah.
Want to heal inside. For men, it's external first to be normal, then they'll heal. So external is that's why they're like, we want to move houses, let's move. Like after loss, most men will be like, tuhame. Most men will be like, they'll want to change something externally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of dealing with it inside. There's no right or wrong,
Yes.
but it's just different. So you might think your husband has moved on fast. And we had those conversations with my husband because he'd go out with his boys for nyama, and I'm like, me, I'm here in the house mourning, you know. But that was his way. He wants his environment to be normal.
Yes.
Like he wants to go back to work, but the pandemic made him stay home. He wanted to go back to just life, you know. Me, I wanted to be here like for 3 years, just seated, for me to heal inside then outside. So we have to be aware of that. We grieve very differently as men and women.
Julie, do you walk this journey with people personally?
I do.
How can people get in touch with you? Social media, your YouTube, everywhere.
Instagram at Julie Karaoke, YouTube Julie K. I have also a page called Butterfly Well. We're working on the website. Butterfly Well is just where now I help people who are grieving.
Okay.
Yes, find me everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Everywhere, Julie Karaoke.
Julie, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me, Mikali. It's such an honor to be here.
This was so beautiful and
Thank you.
needed.
Thank you. It's important.
It is very, very. We are going to take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back.